guys, Jessica here. I wanted to get on a quick video and talk about this topic, and it's how to actually figure out where you're not getting the job. So I've talked to multiple people, and sometimes you just don't know what you're doing. You're putting in a lot of time applying to plenty of companies. Like sometimes, I remember when I was laid off, I was literally applying to 50 to 100 places within a week on a good week. And there are plenty of people like that. You're applying to roles that seem to be a match, and you're not quite sure why you're not getting a call back or why you're not ultimately getting a job offer. So here's a few things to think about during your process. So if you are finding that it's been a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, and you've been consistently applying to jobs, and these are jobs that you seem to be qualified, at least on paper, for, then you need to kind of backtrack and see where you're kind of stopping in the process. So is it with the application? So are you finding that you're just not even getting a callback for even a phone interview? Well, then in that case, you need to really assess your resume and make sure your resume is not only good, but good for the specific job that you are trying to apply for. As a recruiter, a lot of times, they have all kinds of recs. You may have something for an electrician, you may have a factory role, and then you might have a corporate role, an accountant, for example. And you're not going to spend a lot of time if you have 25, 30, 40, 50, in some places, requisitions. You're going to be searching a resume really quickly. You're going to be scanning for keywords. So put yourself in the place of the recruiter and the person that's actually looking at your resume and make it easy for them. And so what's going to make it easy is making sure that you have keywords that they're looking for in the resume. So if you're on your resume, you're saying you are a developer, but in the job description, they're saying they want a programmer, it might be worth it to just change your title that you're using and put in parens programmer, Java developer, parens programmer. Or if you're seeing that there are certain programming languages that they are showing in their job description, you want to make sure that you have those and they're highlighted in your resume. It's not like difficult to search and it's like finding Waldo. You need to show those skills, and you need to use the same verbiage that they're saying in their job description, because maybe they aren't as familiar with the role and they don't know that one word is very synonymous with another. Really good recruiters will, or really experienced recruiters will, but you don't know who is actually looking at your resume. Sometimes it's actually a system, and companies use an applicant tracking system to where there are relevant words that align with the job description, and if you don't have those, you're automatically pushed to the bottom of a job list or resume candidate list. And then another thing to think about too is a lot of times when you're applying to jobs, there are questions that you're asked. So some of the questions may be required questions, like you need this for the job. Other times they're preferred requirements. So just watch those questions. Sometimes people accidentally say no to something and they really meant yes, and it's a requirement. Well, if you do that, you're not going to even be looked at. So that's number one. Kind of assess where you're going wrong in the process, I guess, and where the holdup is. Now, if you are getting the call back after you're submitting your resume, proportionately, let's say you applied for 10 jobs and you got a call back for 3. That's pretty good. As far as the phone interview or the face-to-face interview, if you're finding that the phone interview, that's the holdup, you're not getting moved in the process from there, well, figure out maybe you need to prepare more for that phone conversation. focus on maybe doing your research. If you are passing the phone conversation and your trouble is actually the face-to-face interview, well, you might need to actually practice on maybe some soft skills. Maybe there's something that you might be doing in that interview face-to-face that might be rubbing someone the wrong way. So maybe it is lack of eye contact. Maybe it is negative nonverbal communication. Maybe it is, I hate to say this, but maybe it's hygiene. I actually had this happen one time where my hiring manager, this was for a project manager role, everything about the candidate was great, but their hygiene was bad. And so that automatically made that candidate not the best fit, and they wanted to see more people. Now that is something that companies can talk to employees about, but if they can avoid an employee issue like that, I mean, think about it. If you have bad hygiene, they're thinking about the team, like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to deal with this every day. This is gonna be an issue. If they're kind of foreseeing challenges like that, or employee issues, or things that we may need to talk to, that may hinder your chances just as much as, you kind of giving off bad vibes in an interview situation. And then think about, maybe you're just extremely nervous when you meet face to face. Maybe there's something that you need to think about there. So those are just a few things to consider. Again, if you are finding that you are, going through this process, you are spending time putting your applications, and you feel like you're doing everything the right way, just backtrack and do some analysis on where you're finding things are going wrong. So I would, if you are on a job search, definitely take consistent notes, just so you can really be able to look back, and if something is not going exactly how you're liking it to go, then just look back and see what's happening. See where in the process there's an issue. You may need to move forward with getting a coach, an interview coach, or it may just be getting some assistance with reworking your resume. So anyway, those are my tips real quick for you guys. I hope this is helpful for someone, and see you later. Bye.